Hello student, today we will start some important points regarding motion of a charged particle inside electric field. First, if a positively charged particle having charge q is at rest or moving in the direction of electric field E vector, it experiences a force q into E vector in the direction of E vector, and hence the particle is accelerated in the direction of E. Second, if a positively charged particle is moving opposite to the direction of electric field E, it experiences a force minus q into E vector, and hence it is retarded. And third, if the charged particle moves perpendicular to the direction of electric field E, it describes a parabolic path in the electric field. So, next, force on a charge moving in a magnetic field. The electric charges moving in a magnetic field experience a force, while there is no such force on static charges. Suppose that a charge plus q is moving inside the magnetic field of strength B vector. Consider that the magnetic field acts along x-axis. Here magnetic field along x-axis, while the charge plus q moves with the velocity v. Okay, in the xy plane, making an angle theta. Here angle theta with the direction of B vector as shown in the figure B. Okay, it is found from the experiments that the charge plus q moving in the magnetic field B vector experiences a force F vector such that first, the magnitude of the force is proportional to the magnitude of the strength of magnetic field, that is F is proportional to B. And second, the magnitude of the force is directly proportional to the charge, that is F is proportional to Q. And third, the force is directly proportional to the component of the velocity along a direction perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field, that is F is proportional to V sine theta. Okay, here in the diagram, resolve V in two components. First is horizontal component V cos theta, and second vertical component V sine theta. Okay, so combining the above three factors, we have F is proportional to Q VB sine theta, or F is equal to K QVB sine theta, where K is the constant of proportionality. In SI system, when B is measured in Tesla, Q in Coulomb, and V in meter per second, then the value of the constant K is found to be 1. Therefore, F is equal to QVB sine theta. It is equation first. The force on a charged particle moving inside a magnetic field is called magnetic Lorentz force. This equation gives the magnitude of the magnetic Lorentz force on a charged particle. In vector notation, we can write F vector is equal to Q into V cross B vector. Clear? Next, vectors V vector and B vector lie in the xy plane. The direction of F vector is perpendicular to the xy plane and points along the plus z axis, that is, F vector on the charge plus q acts in the direction of V vector cross B vector, that is along the plus z axis. Okay, see the diagram B. Here F vector in z direction, okay, and B vector in x direction. Clear? This direction can be found by right hand thumb rule or Fleming's left hand rule. Here in the diagram, Fleming's left hand rule. In Fleming's left hand rule, stretch the thumb and the first two fingers of the left hand mutually perpendicular to each other. If the forefinger points in the direction of the magnetic field and central finger in the direction of current or V vector, then the thumb gives the direction of the force on the charged particle. Clear? Fleming's left hand rule. Next, right hand thumb rule. See the diagram. Orient your right hand so that your fingers curl in the plane defined by the velocity and magnetic field vectors. Using your right hand, sweep from the velocity towards the magnetic field with your fingers through the smallest angle theta. Then the magnetic force is directed where your thumb is pointing. Clear? Both rules. Okay, so next, special cases. First, if the charged particle is at rest, then V is equal to 0. From the equation, F equal to Q B into V 0 and sine theta, or we can write F equal to 0. Thus, inside the magnetic field, a stationary charged particle does not experience any force due to the magnetic field. Second case, if the charge Q moves parallel or anti-parallel to the direction of magnetic field B vector, that is theta equal to 0 or 180 degree, then F is equal to QVB 0, since sine 0 is equal to sine 180 degree is equal to 0. Thus, no magnetic force is experienced by a charged particle moving parallel or anti-parallel to the direction of magnetic field. Clear? Next, third case. Consider a uniform magnetic field B vector acting perpendicular to the plane of the paper and directed into the paper as shown by cross. Okay, in the diagram, let a charged particle having plus q enter the region of the magnetic field with velocity v vector and perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field B. Here magnetic field, okay, and plus q charge with velocity v vector, okay. Then magnetic force acting on the charge plus q due to the magnetic field is given by F equal to QVB sine theta, since theta is equal to 90 degree, okay, or F is equal to QVB sine 90 degree, since sine 90 is equal to 1, so F is equal to QVB. This force is always perpendicular to the direction of motion of the particle as well as the magnetic field. Since the force F vector acts on the charged particle perpendicular to its velocity, okay, so it does not perform any work. It does not change the kinetic energy from work energy theorem, hence magnitude of the velocity means speed of the charged particles remains constant, and the force on the charged particle bring about change only in the direction of the velocity of the charged particles. In other words, the force F vector on the charged particle acts as the centripetal force and makes it to move along the circular path. Here force towards the center, okay. If small m be the mass of the charged particle and r be the radius, here r is the radius of the circular path, then the necessary centripetal force required by the particle to move in a circular path is given by Fc is equal to mv square upon r. This centripetal force is provided by the magnetic force F m is equal to q vb. Okay, that is Lorentz force is equal to centripetal force, means QVB is equal to mv square upon r, or v to v cancel, so r is equal to mv upon qb, or we can write r is equal to v upon q by m into b. Thus the radius, okay, radius means r of the circular orbit is inversely proportional to the specific charge, means charge to mass ratio q by m, and to the magnetic field B. The kinetic energy of the charged particle is equal to half mv square, or we can write half m qbr upon m whole square, since v is equal to qbr upon m, or kinetic energy is equal to q square b square r square upon 2m, and the time period of the charged particle to complete a circular path of radius r is given by t is equal to distance upon speed, or circumference of speed means 2 pi r upon v, or t is equal to 2 pi upon v. Put the value of r, mv upon qb, or 2m pi upon qb. It is the time period. Okay, or frequency of the charged particle means nu is equal to 1 upon t. So put the value of t, qb upon 2 pi m. It is clear that the time period, okay, t or frequency is independent of speed of particle and radius of the circular path. It depends only on the magnetic field and nature of the particle, that is specific charge means q by m. Thus all the charged particles take the same time to complete the circular orbit of small or large radius, provided their specific charge means q by m is same. This fact is used to accelerate charged particle in a cyclotron and in a particle detector, means mass spectrometer. Clear? Mass spectrometer and cyclotron not in your syllabus. Okay, next, fourth case. Consider a charged particle of mass small m moving with velocity v vector at an angle theta, means other than 0 degree, 90 degree, and 180 degree with the direction of magnetic field B, means along x-axis. Here in the diagram, magnetic field along the x-axis. Okay, so the velocity, here velocity v, charge plus q. The velocity v of the charged particle can be resolved into two components. Here angle theta. First component v cos theta along the direction of magnetic field, that is along the o x-axis. Okay, and second component v sin theta along normal to the direction of magnetic field, means along o y. The charged particle moves with constant velocity v cos theta along the direction of magnetic field, so no magnetic force acts on the charged particle in the direction of magnetic field. So F is equal to m into v. Here v is v cos theta into b into sin theta. Here theta is 0. So F is equal to 0 degree. Since v sin theta is perpendicular to the direction of b vector, so the particle experiences a magnetic force. F is equal to m into v, here v sin theta into b into sin theta. Theta is 90 degree. So F is equal to m into v sin theta into b. Clear? Next, under this magnetic force, charged particles tends to move in a circular path in a plane perpendicular to the magnetic field, and centripetal force required to move the particle in a circle is provided by the magnetic force, that is m into v square. So v square is v square sin square theta upon r, it is centripetal force, is equal to q into v sin theta into b, or r is equal to m v square sin square theta upon q v b sin theta, or we can write r is equal to m v sin theta upon q b, and time period of the particle t is equal to 2 pi r upon v. Here v is v sin theta, or t is equal to 2 pi upon v sin theta. Put the value of r, m v sin theta upon q b, or we can write t is equal to 2 pi m upon q b, and frequency nu is equal to 1 upon t. So put the value of t, so nu is equal to qb upon 2 pi m. In fact, charged particle is under the combined effect of the two components of velocity v cos theta and v sin theta. It moves along the direction of magnetic field due to the horizontal component v cos theta of the velocity, and at the same time move in a circular path due to v sin theta component of the velocity. Thus, the resultant path of the particle is a helix or helical path. Here it is helical path with its axis parallel to the magnetic field. Here it is the axis parallel to the magnetic field B vector. So the linear distance traveled by the charged particle along the direction of magnetic field in one rotation is called the pitch P of the helix. Here it is called pitch. Means pitch of the helical path is equal to the spacing between its two consecutive circular paths. So pitch P is equal to V cos theta into T, or P is equal to V cos theta, put the value of T 2 pi m upon QB, or P is equal to 2 pi m V cos theta upon QB. Clear? That's all for today.